And welcome. We are back, and I am so happy and flabbergasted and feeling so great because we have a wonderful guest here today. We just got through talking to Dan Jaime. He was talking about entrepreneurship, and it was a great thing. I hope you got that information. But right now, one of the reasons that I'm feeling so great and so just flabbergastedly feeling great and super fantastic right now because I have the wonderful, the powerful, the incomparable, the very talented and beautiful and classy Sharon Marie Klein right here. Come on, y'all, clap your hands, stomp your feet, do something because she is one of the best jazz singers that I've ever heard in my and I love jazz. I love jazz. And if you love jazz, she's the person to listen to. Her and her band, is off the hook. And so I'm going to let her tell her story in her own way. Ladies and gentlemen, all 7 million of you right now need to know who this lady is. I know a lot of you are already fans, but the ones who need to be fans, listen up. We have Sharon here today. How are you today?
I am wonderful. How
Wow,
are you doing?
you're even more beautiful in person.
Oh, thank you.
That's amazing.
Oh, that's
that
so
God
sweet.
can just take his time on somebody like that.
God is wonderful.
That's right.
God is my guiding force. I want to say hello to everyone out there. Thanks for joining us.
Right.
And it's nice to meet everyone.
Is it a shout out you want to do or start or you want to leave with a shout out?
I'll leave with a shout out.
Okay, we're going to leave the shout out. So I have some questions for you.
Sure.
You know, and I'm going to put my musical spectacles on.
Okay.
Can you hear the music? Oh, it's there.
Oh, really?
So, yes,
Ooh,
it is.
I can feel the music.
Right. I feel there's music in the air and everything. By the way, before I get started, I just wanted to let you know that my family, since I started studying you so I can do the interview, my family fell in love with you. Oh. And we're probably your biggest fans now.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, so.
I want you to come to my show then.
Okay, great.
Okay, you're my guest.
Bring everybody?
Sure.
I have like 15 kids or something.
Ooh, wow.
Yeah, so.
Well, they're more than merrier.
Yeah, so, like 2 Brady Bunches and the Jacksons.
All mixed together. I love it. The more the merrier.
Yes. So my first question for you, young lady, is, who are you, and when did you find out that you can sing and have talent?
Wow. Well, like I said earlier to you, I'm just a girl who loves love and who is very connected to her heart. And so if you know anything about me, you know that all my songs and all my music and what I bring to my performances is an emanation of love. I mean, I'm just there to shine love. And I was born in Los Angeles, ironically.
Absolutely.
Yes, and I have relatives here, and hello to all of them. I'll give you shout outs at the end. I was born there, but I grew up in Jacksonville, Florida, which was, I think, actually a godsend because it was a slower paced, quieter life, had a really great education, and I had to really work hard for everything I had there. That was, there was a challenge working through that kind of educational system and the kind of racial tensions and conflicts to really strive to kind of make it to the top, which I feel like I did do. So I learned early on about, one, the power of being positive and the power of working hard and staying true to yourself. And I got that in Jacksonville. So I started singing as a little girl. My mom always encouraged music and the arts and theater. I'm also an actress from a very early age, and part of it was because I was so shy. I know you couldn't tell that now. Yes.
You mean the same lady that sings on that jazz so sexy and so sensual is shy?
Yeah.
Well, tell us about that.
I'm less shy now, okay? I'm less shy now.
I got you.
But I still have my shy moments, but I was shy then, so it worked. What she did worked, really. But so she thought theater and would help to bring me out of my shell. And what we discovered was that it did awaken me, and that I found more and more ease of expressing who I was through music and through performance.
Right.
So she used to play this game when I was a little girl. She turned on the stereo and would listen to Frank Sinatra and Duke Ellington and Count Basie, Ella, and
Great, yeah.
Dakota Staton, who no one's ever heard of, but it's the greatest name ever, and it just kind of conjured ideas in my head. And I would listen to all those tunes while I was dusting the furniture or cleaning up. So that's how she kind of got me to do my chores. And I also had a great musical introduction. You know, Barbra Streisand is also one of my guiding forces.
Yes.
And I would listen to the Funny Girl album and listen to her singing Secondhand Rose of one of her earlier albums. I mean, I would, and I'd act it out while I was working.
So those are some very great artists to learn from.
Yes.
So that's what really kind of shaped you and formed you to become.
Yeah, definitely the start. I mean, I have a good education as well. But I call them my mentors and my teachers. Barbra Streisand is definitely one of my major mentors.
Great.
A lot of the way that I infuse emotion into melody is a direct study of her and her phrasing. And Ella Fitzgerald, for the joy and the playfulness with which she sings, and then that spot-on pure tone of Ella Fitzgerald. I learned a lot from her. And
Great.
Sarah Vaughan, I learned how to play with the lower register and soar to the heights of my register and to scoop into notes. They were all really amazing mentors.
Excellent. Because I was wondering now, I hear it in your voice. I hear all those people that had that influence, and plus you said you were educationally. Did you do music?
Yes, I studied. I studied as a child or a youngster, really, more like junior high, voice lessons, and then I sang in the local opera companies. That was actually, so I was singing classically before I actually began singing jazz.
Okay.
Singing classically and pop music, and then I got my degree, the University of Florida, in music and theater. So I was doing art songs and musical theater at the same time. Wow. But I did my thesis in nightclub performance, which I made that up, by the way.
That's the best place.
I made up that thesis.
That's the best place to learn.
Yes.
You guys said that you learn real fast there.
Yes.
So now I want to know. Well, I know that you work with some great people, like you just named, and one of the great people that you work with was Nancy Wilson, and the other was Tony Bennett. I'd like to hear your experience with working with both of those.
Well, I was able to open at jazz festivals for both of them, and they are two of the most gracious artists I have ever met.
I can't imagine.
Tony Bennett has this effervescence, joy spring of youth that it's just amazing. And I think what I learned from him is just watching his ease on stage,
right,
and his ability to not get in the way. The music serves itself, and he's part of that, and he just kind of is the doorway through which it's coming through. Right. And I learned that by watching him, and his phrasing, of course, is just phenomenal. The way he can throw off, turn a phrase, and then it just hits you almost like after,
Right, you're right. Tony Bennett can do that.
And then Nancy is one of the most elegant people I've ever watched perform. I actually grew up listening to her and singing, Guess Who I Saw Today, imagining I was her while she was singing it. Yeah, she's just phenomenal.
And the great Chris Bode?
Bode, yes, Chris Bode, obviously a consummate musician. He loves singers as well, and he's meticulous.
Okay. Now, what is the name? Well, I know you're divine, and I know that you have a lot of class, and your videos and your singing, the way you carry yourself, there must have been some charm school there, as well as when you were in class with music and everything. But where did the divine Miss Klein?
Actually, that came from a group of friends of mine after college, just hanging out, and they, I guess it is because of the way I carry myself, and if I've been told that when I'm around, people feel joy.
Right.
So I think that's kind of they'd say, oh, it was divine to see you, Miss Klein. And then all of a sudden it just became the divine
Right.
Miss Klein. And it's kind of just stuck with me. Wherever I'd go, I'd walk in a room and my friends would go, the divine Miss
Right.
Klein.
Because that name is,
It's kind of hot, huh?
yeah, it's hot.
I
You
probably
know?
owe them some money for that.
Oh, okay. Well, college students and friends, you heard it from
Yes.
yourself, not me. But you can give me some of that money too. Why do you do what you do? As far as your why, and why jazz too as well. But first, why do you do what you do?
I do what I do because I must. I just, it's part of who I am. I think no matter what else I do in life, I would always be trying to shine my love light through music.
Uh-huh.
Music is that incredibly powerful medium that penetrates and permeates almost anything. People, we may not be able to understand each other when we speak, but when you sing to me or I sing to you, I know what you mean.
Right.
So the immediacy of it was just so, it was all there is for it. It is to me, and it was a clear way for me to express. And growing up too, when there were times tensions between people, I was always looking for something that brought harmony
Right.
and togetherness, and that was an amazing way. So it's why I sing. It's why I perform. It is because I do believe I'm here to do that. I think that's a God-given healing gift of mine. But I could not do anything else. You can't stop me.
Right. And I wouldn't stop you from telling me why jazz, because me, I hear it in your voice, and I know voices. I've been studying music for a while, and to me, you're a quartuelto, which means you can hit any notes that you want.
Yeah.
Especially if I step on your foot right now.
Exactly.
But I wouldn't do that.
Thank
but
you.
you can hit any note that you want.
Yes.
And so why jazz? Because I hear you. I know that you have the ability to do any type of music you want. Although I know that God gave you that gift of jazz.
Yes.
But why jazz?
And I agree. Jazz for me is kind of a perfect a marriage of melody, harmony, and emotion. And I think you can tell I got lots of emotion.
Right.
And so it to me, it's like I love even though there's amazing structure to it that I don't even think people realize. Within that structure, there's that ability to play. And like I change notes and I bend notes all over the place. I'll hear something in my head and I can jump there. And it's one of those mediums that provide that kind of freedom to express what you feel in that moment. And when you're working with some of the greatest musicians in the world, and jazz is all about interplay, about responding to each other. We each come in with a story or a point of view, and then we magically seem to be able to meld it together because we listen to each other. So my piano player might have something he's saying, then I'm like, oh, well, then this is how I respond. Then my trumpet player may respond a certain way. My bass player may bring in his point of view. So it gets to become, every time you perform it, something new.
So since you brought your band up, the Bad Boys of Jazz, did you come up with that name?
I did. They call them the Bad Boys of Jazz. Kind of catchy, huh? The Bad Boys of Jazz, because I like to say this on stage, they are so good that they are bad. You know what I mean?
I get you.
And so that's where it came up. It just kind of, when you're gigging around, it just kind of like starts to come out of you.
Right.
And that's another one that stuck.
Now, you were talking about your process as far as getting into jazz and why jazz. Is that part of your writing process as far as writing your material? And do you write most of your material?
I don't write most yet. I've just begun my songwriting expression. So I've written 3 songs, and on my next album you're going to hear a couple more.
Wow. Hold that thought, because I have your album selection.
Okay.
I love all your albums.
Thank you.
But your newest one I really love, because you did a Neil Sedaka remake, and it was beautiful. I listened to it over and over and over. Okay. And an audience, you need to get her CD, her newest CD, which is called
This Is Where I Wanna Be.
Oh yes. And will you be doing one of the songs today off of that album?
Actually, no. This song that you're going to hear today will be on my next album that we're hoping will be released this fall.
Wow.
Yes. Well, we hope.
So
if it doesn't make it the fall, then it'll be beginning of the year.
This is this is a first.
This is a preview. Actually, you'll also be hearing it this summer if you come out to some of my live shows.
Okay, I will be.
So this song, because it's called Summer Love. So
Okay.
and my concert series this summer is called The Summer of Love. So.
Okay. Well, I know that you have a couple of places. Well, you have a whole lot of places.
Yes.
You have mega places that you will be performing. So can you tell us a little bit about
Sure. So as I was starting to say is that I'm doing a concert series. This is actually the second year I've done it, called my Summer of Love Concerts, where I travel around different kind of unique locations in Southern California and share my love light. You know, my philosophy started last year is that we need to bring as much light into this world as possible, much love. And so it's my opportunity just to like say, ooh, I love love, and share it with you. And usually everyone's enjoying the love and they kind of end up leaving happier than they came in. So.
Well, hold that thought for a minute, because I want the people to hear you sing and everything. And we're going to come back with this with more.
Because I
of this.
talk too much.
No, me too. People need to we're exactly alike. We got a kindred spirit. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Sharon Marie Klein, the great Sharon Marie Klein here. She's going to sing and sing her heart out with a music that she loves to do. And a person sings the music that they love, it's going to sound beautiful as well as she looks. So, ladies and gentlemen, get ready for a treat. Clap your hands. Don't go nowhere after this moment.